everybody? Your boy Chad RZK, Chatty 51130.
Hello, welcome again to another episode of Over the Top. My name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th. Well, yeah, we forgot totally how to do this, but I'm going to send it 2 slots to the left.
Listen up, you bunch of jabronis. I am Hot Mike Chance.
The ultimate heel.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am BJ the DJ.
One more.
Oh, jeez. Hi. I don't have anything to say.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. It's been 10 episodes.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Whoa.
Hey,
Sorry we wasn't all together. You know where we were at?
Smoking in the boys' room. Bringing it back. Yes, the crew is here. It's been 10 episodes since we've all been together.
10?
Yeah.
10. A fucking 10.
R.I.P. Billy Bob.
Yeah. Shout out.
Wow.
Episode 68
been a while.
No, you won. Guys, we're here, dude. We're here, man. What are we talking about today?
We're talking wrestling heels today. Oh,
What a maneuver.
that was a good Vince McMahon right there.
really good.
That
Barry
pound.
Ward's still alive?
Yeah,
Is he still alive?
yeah.
Over under.
He's still alive.
Yeah, we
That's
talked about him.
41. Cher Horowitz versus Barry Horowitz in the main event. Shout out to Cher Horowitz. Clueless, man. Cher Horowitz. Lisa Silverstone, damn it.
Oh man, with deep cut. Right
I'm supposed to be so ghetto, but I know who Cher.
Yeah, you talk about
Cher
us being the
Horowitz.
movie guys, and then you bring out a Clueless
Any-
reference on us.
Hell yeah.
Because I like that movie.
Shout out Paul Rudd.
That's the first time I
yeah,
remember seeing
sure.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he was in. Never mind. We're gonna get into a Rain Man situation. Very not needed. We're not talking about movies.
You were going to talk about
Fun fact,
Halloween.
yeah.
right?
Barry Horowitz is still alive.
Yeah, I thought he
I would
was.
have betted against it. Salute to Barry Horowitz. I love you. I appreciate that autograph you gave me that I threw away back in the day.
You got it from the Piggly Wiggly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he used to be. Anyway,
This is awesome.
we're here, guys. Episode 68, man. We're talking wrestling here.
Yeah, it just gets better and
Shout
better
out
every
to
time.
Trouble Spirits, Revolution One Media, Sting, Natural Disasters, Jimmy Hart, the brand new Miss Elizabeth, Sanchez Turner, Mesos, both Mean Jeans, and cocaine snorting Brian Pillman.
Look, I mean, just look at this ensemble.
say
I mean,
Virgil?
it just keeps. Yeah,
He said Virgil. He mentioned the sauce of the moon. I mean, sauce.
You know, fun fact,
Oh, he just gave up on that one.
reboot real quick. Let me reboot like the PlayStation 1. There's no better sound.
Take the cartridge out and blow on it real
Yeah.
quick.
There's no better sound. And that never ended up being something that worked.
Right.
That didn't help it at all.
No. You're just getting saliva up in the cartridge.
But rumor, well, not even rumor, they said that Virgil never even did drugs or anything.
Didn't.
They said he was just straight laced, go to the
Yep.
gym.
Yep. Body
Really?
guy.
Lay the meat stick, go to
Just lay
sleep.
it, lay it
Laid that
down.
down.
Yeah.
He laid that down a lot. Yep. That's what I heard. That's the rumor.
Had a clean bald head, though.
He did.
He
always
did
looked the
he did have a
exact same.
CBH for sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about bad guys, man. We talked about
Yeah.
movie villains a few episodes back. That went well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Francis from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
I
a
didn't
really
have
good
anything. I was trying to pull like the most random ones.
You,
out.
you had great ones. I
that
mean,
was good.
especially the deep comedy cut ones. I mean, we're solid pulls.
I hate Francis.
And then we come to realize that Jenny from Forrest Gump's the worst person
Ever.
Oh, yeah,
Ever
sure.
imaginable.
Absolutely.
And
Not even
what
close.
Chance say? Jenny's from the streets, man.
Yeah.
She's for the streets. bro.
Jenny's for the streets.
She's for the streets like a Maxima. Shout out. One of the coldest lines one ever said in the rap.
Dude, we got to get one out here.
Yeah, he's down, man.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to same with the young and Leroy. We got to get him out here. That would be,
I'm
dude,
waiting on that.
dude, that would be so much
Leroy
fun.
Biggs for a stoner episode would be perfect.
And he's a big Adam Sandler fan.
yeah, we
too.
do Adam Sandler movies with Leroy too.
Yeah, he's but yeah, that'll be a lot of
More
fun.
too. Dropping soon. Right?
Dude, I'm hype. That's one sequel I'm
that-
hype about, man.
Yeah.
You don't
Shooter
feel like it's been
McGavin's
too
all
long?
over it.
No.
I think it's going to be good.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's,
Because I'll be honest, there's been a few misses with Sandler and like the Netflix movies, but
Yeah.
these last few, I've liked them.
yeah.
See, I felt like
So-
Coming to America 2 was way too far past
No,
the
that one-
original. It was a good movie, but it didn't do the original any justice
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No.
Coming
and
to
Eddie
America
Murphy's
is-
fell off
yeah.
too.
100% agree,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And so, but hey, we're here to talk about wrestling heels. Who wants to throw one out there? Anybody got one?
He's got the heel shirt on.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you
star.
got the ultimate heel shirt on, so let's go with one.
I'm going to throw out one of my favorite heels, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig.
Ultimate.
Yes,
Ultimate.
that is-
You know,
Just-
one thing I love about there was a time period in the beginning when we all started watching wrestling. There was a time period where you could distinctively tell the difference between a heel and a face.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone was going against like Hogan or Flair played the ultimate heel, of course, but there was a separation. You could tell that these guys were bad guys for a reason, and Hogan was the ultimate good guy, and everyone who associated with Hogan were all good guys as well. Hennig was one of those guys where he could go either way, right? And but he was always, to me, better as a heel.
Yeah.
Just the arrogance and the cockiness and the swagger that he had was like over the top heelish.
I think we can all agree that he is a heel that we all liked.
Oh, definitely.
yeah, most definitely.
Sure.
And he was paired with the ultimate heel manager, too.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, definitely.
1000%.
So, I mean, that just made it even better.
Yeah.
What was your favorite version of Mr. Perfect? Shane?
I always like the original, like where he was throwing the football to himself.
80s.
and
Oh,
doing-
yeah.
80s
Those
WWE.
promos were so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but he was always good on commentary too.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite was when he had the genius with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
But like
that
all the
whole
vignettes and
Intercontinental
stuff.
run with
Yes.
him.
Legendary.
Even when he was with the NWO, I mean,
Yeah.
he was still. But
And then the
The
rap
rap
is crap.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rap is
That
crap
was
version.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean,
So
he had a
funny.
terrible person with him. Who was that guy's name? Kendall Windham.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like who they really try to put him over and give him a rub, but yeah, just Hennig himself just played the ultimate heel role. Another one that was one of my favorites from that same era was Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I felt
Oh,
like
yes.
Rude. I feel like Rude was one of the best heels out there. You couldn't help but hate him.
oh yeah, all the
He-
men
he
hated
did
him
his
in
jo-
the
yes.
in the
Couldn't
crowd,
help
and
but
all
hate
the
him.
women loved him.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a damn thing you could do about it because he
Nope.
would have whooped your
Exactly.
ass.
He looked
Like
just like my
legit.
dad. He
Like
looked just
legit.
like my dad.
Yeah, with that
Yeah.
mustache and,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that Jerry curl.
When you're a heel and you're a prick, but he will whoop your ass.
yeah, he
Yeah.
can back it up.
What do you do? Nothing.
And all he wanted to do was just go back in the back and smoke his weed. That's
Yeah.
all he wanted to do.
And the crazy thing about both those guys is they never got a run in WWE as a champion.
Nope, Intercontinental.
Never
Yeah.
got it. But they would go on, like, Hennig, of course, won the AWA World title.
Oh, yeah.
Well, didn't they come out of Minnesota together?
Yeah.
And
Robin-
everything?
Yeah,
Robinsdale, Minnesota.
Minnesota produced a ton
Everybody.
of great wrestlers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Robin's
so Hennig never got a world title run.
No.
But Rick Rude eventually would in WCW.
His
but-
AWA run. He
Oh,
beat
it was
Nick
unbelievable.
Baldwinkle for
Yeah.
it. They had some really good bouts.
yeah, unbelievable.
I think I want to say Mr. Perfect's probably the first heel that I remember liking as a kid.
Yeah, same.
I hated
Same.
all heels.
Hard not
including
to.
Rick Rude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Just
hard
his
not to
strut to the ring, and then he tossed the towel behind
The
his
gum.
back.
My
And the
thing-
gum
I've
was-
done that
what
all
made
the
me
time.
like him was-
I slapped the
Dude,
gum.
I did that my entire life, man.
I
For
do it every
sure.
time I spit out
Yeah.
gum. I
Dude,
try
what,
to
made,
hit it.
what made me like him is when they started doing the vignettes, and he was like really good at sports
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I like,
Yeah.
that's
And
what made me like him.
Pat McAfee gives a nod to him all the time with the
He sure
pencil.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the pencil.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
And when he was commentating, he did the pencil.
Yeah.
Hard,
So-
hard to hate Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Perfect
Can't
and
hate
Rick
that
Rude.
guy, man. He's the best.
You want to go next, Mr. Brandon?
Well, sure.
Okay, throw us one.
I love you.
Oh, dude.
Shout out to that red-faced, cool. He wasn't cool. He's a great podcaster, but Brother Love pissed me off.
Oh,
Yeah.
he did his job.
He did his job,
He did
man.
the job but that beat red face,
Man, yeah, just like the
that big ass white microphone.
Yeah.
everybody beat him
Yeah.
up, man. Everybody to come on there beat him up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
When you think about it too, bro, like he never really managed anybody. He came out with Undertaker.
Yep,
Right.
originally.
But other than that, like he was a heel, and he just had a show or a segment.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
wasn't a wrestler. He wasn't really a manager. And there's one of the only people that.
But he
was
would
able
poke
to
the
do that.
bear every time.
Yeah. Oh,
during
he
his segment, he would
1000%
poke
did.
the bear, and he would be the one that would really get the wrestlers riled up, and then some heel would come out and would eventually attack the good guy.
Righteous Gemstones is based around Brother Love, man.
I believe that. That's
Oh,
a
dude,
great show.
great
It's a
show.
fantastic
It's a
show.
great
Just
show.
evil,
Ready for season
evil.
4.
I know.
Yeah.
Just like evil preacher, you know.
Yeah.
Don't do right.
That's
I
awesome.
love. Shout out to Brother Love. Shout out to Bruce.
Yeah, it was-
Brucey Pritchard.
That was a great one too, Brandon.
Thank
And
you.
I think that he, just being a fan of his podcast, I ain't really listened to it the last 2 years, but that first 4 years,
It was the best thing ever. On
I did.
podcasts.
Not only did I not miss a week, I would go back and listen to him multiple
That's
times.
yeah. Live
The
wise.
first 50 episodes, I could probably
Yeah.
recite them. You know,
Up
and-
until he kind of started being affiliated with WWE again.
yeah, that's when it started getting different.
I still listen just based off of loyalty, but yes, that made me fall in love with podcasts too.
Yeah.
Just
I tell you the one Stone Cold podcast, and then the original Ric Flair podcast is what got me into listening.
Yeah.
That original Ric Flair one that I think he did with
Conrad.
Conrad
Thompson.
Oh my! It's especially the episode he was able to get Mean Gene on the episode.
Yeah.
And the
awesome.
stories between them two were absolutely magical.
Shout out to
The
Sam
lies
Roberts
still
for
being
having
told. Yeah.
Mean Gene on his thing, though.
I bet he plugged the hotline on that thing, didn't he?
Lots of martinis. He brought up martinis quite a bit.
1-900-909-9900. I still remember.
Whoa!
Don't know my own phone number, but I know something from the 90s.
Great.
Well, I'm gonna keep the retro feel going right here, and this motherfucker. It was right there in the Gulf War, Sergeant Slaughter,
yeah.
when he turned heel against Hogan, when he beat Ultimate Warrior, and then it set up for WrestleMania with him and Hogan, USA all the way, and then
That was such a good build-up for that match with Hogan. You knew, like, Hogan obviously is not going to lose that match. There's no way.
No.
But Slaughter was the perfect
my gosh.
villain.
that time in the timing of
Dude,
it is the
yeah.
early
What?
92.
And just
No,
real
91.
life, man.
Yeah, just what was
Desert
going on
Storm
in real
just
life.
started.
They played off that so well.
And what's crazy, if y'all watch that A&E biography
yeah.
on Sergeant Slaughter,
Yeah.
he talks about the heat that he got was so bad. They had to move his family,
Yeah.
death threats. Like,
that's the reason WrestleMania had to move
Yep.
inside that year.
yeah, because it was supposed to be like a stadium, like
They're supposed to
100,000
be in
people.
where USC plays or whatever.
Coliseum
Yeah,
or
Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah.
And because of they was afraid about security because of all the threats and all that. So it went from a 100,000 venue to like 15, 20.
That's the ultimate heat right there.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
just made
yeah.
them change
Yeah.
the whole venue.
Absolutely.
And 80,000 people didn't get to go.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
And
mean-
when Hogan gets color in the match, he gets
Yeah.
busted
Oh, yeah,
open,
yeah, yeah.
and everything is just
Well, you got to think too. Even prior to that, with Sergeant Slaughter, he beat the Ultimate Warrior,
Yeah.
who hadn't been beat.
yeah.
Up
That's
until
true.
They had,
Good
he
point.
beat
That is
Hogan,
true.
and he was just rolling with it. And then there was that whole segment with in that match, where he got over on that match, and then of course he fought Hogan later.
Yeah.
Jeez, you got me really thinking about that.
Yep.
This dude was on G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
He is a
Yes.
real life Marine.
The ultimate good guy.
Ultimate.
The ultimate good
And then
guy.
turned ultimate heel.
I mean, goodness great.
I mean, the whole total flip.
yeah. I mean, I had this little G.I. Joe character
yeah.
as a kid.
I
So
mean-
most of your great heels
get
at
that-
some point or another were a strong face
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
And then there's that light switch moment where it flips and you're like, oh no, we can't do this. Like, and then you do it and you go there and it's hard to pull back after that. I mean, after he was healed, did he ever come back and work as a face? He came back as a commissioner, I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but
I
did he
don't
ever
think
work
it's,
face?
That man, he was a heel commissioner and everything. He was because he was corporate. He was with the corporation.
He
and
was, but you also got to think this was around the time DX came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
were playing that?
Correct.
They were on the fence. Like, are they good or are they bad? They were
Yeah.
well liked, but they were doing the heelish tactics, and he was the commissioner.
Did he ever go to WCW?
Not off
I don't think so.
knowledge. I don't think he did. I
don't
mean,
think so.
he didn't start off in WWE.
He started off in AWA.
Yeah, but I mean, after his
Yeah.
WWF run,
No.
I can't remember if he went to
I don't-
He was there
WCW
during the
before he came
attitude
back.
there. He was there like during
He must
the
just
start of it.
he must just went to the behind the scenes after that little run.
He
I
always
can't-
made little sporadic appearances and stuff, like even like once his run was over. But I never recall it being anything.
Yeah,
but
he was in.
WWE.
Wasn't he in a Survivor Series match with Flair and Piper? And weren't they involved in a big angle where all of them went against somebody?
You might be right.
Years later, like 2005 time frame.
That sounds.
He was.
Yeah,
he
that
was there.
sounds
Like, he
about
would
right.
pop
Yeah,
up.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, I don't think
that was
Slaughter ever
over.
went to WCW, and
No,
I don't
he
think he
didn't.
did anything after that heel run. I think he
No.
just kind of went away and would come back as a
Last I
commissioner.
heard from Sergeant Slaughter,
He's making a shit ton of
His-
money on the convention. Right?
yeah, his daughter criticized Lacey Evans when she was doing the Marine Corps
Oh yeah,
thing, and like they were getting on Twitter, like kind of bashing her 'cause she was basically doing the same exact character that he was doing, and it didn't get over. And now she's not
yeah, no,
Now she's
employed anymore.
yeah.
yeah.
Survivor Series War Games match. It was Ric Flair was the captain, Dusty Rhodes, Sergeant Slaughter, and Ron Simmons versus Kenny, Johnny, Nikki, and
Spirit
Mikey of the
Squad.
Spirit
Spirit
Squad.
Squad. Shout out to Dolph
Okay,
Ziggler.
look at
Yeah.
him go. Look at him go.
Good one,
Spirit
BJ.
Squad.
Good one.
Good one.
So I'll bring it a little bit more dated. I'll talk about one of my. I mean, love him or hate him, say he's cheesy, say whatever, but The Miz is probably one of the best
I
heels.
can completely
I
agree.
mean, when he's a heel and he's
Oh, yeah.
on point, he is so in your face
yeah.
that you can't help but like hate this guy. Like
Exactly.
when he's on TV, like you don't want to even look at him. And then he, of course, he beat the Ultimate Babyface for the WWE title and headlined WrestleMania with him and came out on top. So, that's a rub there.
Yeah,
for him
I'll
to
praise
have a run.
Miz anytime. I've always been a Miz fan. I
Yeah.
mean, he's always there when the WWE needs him. Even though he's on a babyface run right now with R-Truth, I mean, he can still just.
I feel like that's going to end in a.
And it's going to heel in another heel turn for Miz is going to screw R-Truth.
Or I would love to see R-Truth turn heel and start smoking in the arena again. I'd love to see the heel Truth. I'd love to see that.
Even if he turned heel, he will never be
No.
No.
He's found his character. He can run this character for another 10 years.
I love that little Jimmy thing he did back in the day. Man. That was so funny.
He's gold.
Who do you guys feel like is the best heel in the business right now?
MJF for me.
Yeah.
But do you feel like he's a heel though? I feel like he tries to work heel.
When he works heel,
There's
is.
no
But he's one of those that fans love.
I base it off of crowd, and it's not even close. It's Dominique.
Dom,
Dom,
It's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, they're starting to hate Jericho too, though.
Yeah, they're wanting Jericho to retire.
They're really starting to hate Jericho.
Yeah, but Dom gets. He can't even.
You got to throw Roman. You got to throw Roman in that category.
But they love him though.
They do.
They love to hate him. Too.
Like John Cena.
Yeah, exactly.
Cena and Roman are like in their own category.
But I think Roman's best run has been as this
a heel,
as this heel. But it's going to turn. It's going to be like The Rock. When The Rock, he was the ultimate heel right there, and then when that's like you said, the light switch turned on.
Did anybody watch SmackDown the other night?
I did.
Yes.
Did you hear that we want Roman?
Yeah,
real
they've been
loud?
yelling that for a few weeks now.
Yeah, and he just got done. Well, he's done filming a movie and everything.
It's genius, like how they've set this whole thing up because Solo has taken sole ownership of this bloodline thing, and they want Roman to come back because they know what's going to happen when he comes back. But I mean,
this is what the WWE's wanting is to get this babyface run out of Roman, and
they'll get it,
and it's gonna cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean,
I hope they don't do the Batista. I don't. Not that I want to immediately see Roman with a belt, but remember how like Batista came in. Batista was the ultimate good guy, and he went against all these heels, and he was almost there getting the belt again because he had to surrender it or something.
Yeah,
almost there multiple times, and he lost to Khali. He lost to all these terrible guys, and then he finally got it, and it was like, okay. Yeah. It wasn't memorable at all when he got it. It was like, okay.
Well, I think we're going to go on a run with Cody for a while, but I think it's probably going to be probably a year or so before.
And people are starting to say that Cody's run is already just kind of like, he got it. Now it's like, but the thing is, like,
there's no real heel.
We're going to see the title defended way more times than what we have in the past, and we're not used to seeing that. So these feuds are going to be quick.
He's been putting on clinics, though.
Right. I agree with you. I agree.
Him and AJ going to have by the time
absolutely agree.
They've already had another match.
Him and Logan Paul and him and AJ Styles has been some of the best matches I've seen.
And Logan Paul's another one you can put in that heel category. You hate looking at him on TV, but you got to respect it.
Oh, dude.
You got to respect it.
Once again, the camera work that the WWE is doing right now, that frog splash off the top where the camera circles around him.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's...
Yeah.
They're
doing it right.
Yeah. You got one for us?
Yeah. Earthquake. Obviously.
Yeah.
Biggest hill ever.
I know why for you.
Yeah. He crushed my hero and my hopes and dreams in 1990.
It's my guy right
on
there.
the Brother Love show, nevertheless. And he was just terrifying to me as a kid, man. That dude with the skirted eggshell and the fucking leotard, and he's just walking around, like super dude, terrifying. His interviews was always he was jumping around. Oh, listen here, oh god! I'm like, oh my god, bro! He sat on people for a finishing move.
Yeah,
he was. I love Earthquake. I mean, even obviously, he went over to WCW and it was just a joke version.
Yeah, that was shark. That was
a joke version.
What was he when he shaved half his head? What was that?
Golga?
No, he was in WCW. He shaved half his head off. Was he Shark?
Was he? I think he was still the Shark.
I think he was still the Shark, and then he came out and did a promo. I was like, dude, I'm done with this.
Dude.
And then I think that
was the worst.
Did that when they put the $100 in a sock match where he had to
dude, they treated him
$100 in a sock match or something.
Look what you did to the Ultimate
All I know is he hung out with the Booty Man, so therefore my hatred runs deep right now. I hate the Booty Man.
I'll double another one because I got another one right off rip. Paul motherfucking Roman.
Let it go. Let it go.
It's not even so much that he was a good heel. It's just that he just fucking sucked.
He's terrible.
Fuck you, Paul Roma.
He sucked at wrestling. He thought he was better than everybody.
He sucked at
Nobody
life.
liked him. Nobody bought a ticket to see him get whipped or whip anybody.
I mean,
he made Chance look like Shaquille O'Neal, and he walked around the goddamn locker room like his fucking shit didn't stink. Fuck Paul Roma. He gets on these goddamn shoot interviews. Sorry, BJ. He gets on these daggum shoot interviews, and he fucking just lies about everything. How he drew money, how he can out wrestle Flair. His dick was bigger than Kevin Nash's. Who gives a shit? You fucking sucked at life, and you still do. And beat me up if you see me, Paul Roma.
I bet he won't.
Big
touch
Whoop
you.
want to fight
I
about
bet he
it?
won't touch you.
No.
Fuck Paul Roma.
You can step on
He
him.
sucks, dude. He fucking sucks.
Paul Roma, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
All right, there it is.
I'm appalled, Roma. Fuck you, dude.
How do you follow up that one?
I mean, some people just have a look on their face. It just
just
like
fuck Paul Roma.
they just look like a prick.
You just
That's
wanna
like
get
Tully
punched.
Blanchard. He just looked like an asshole.
He did.
Yeah.
And he looked coked out all the time.
He was. He was an asshole. He was coked out all the time.
That's why they didn't
Great
get
wrestler.
hired.
Great wrestler.
Yeah.
Unlike Paul Roma, Tully was a great wrestler.
Yeah.
Drew money. Actual dollars.
Let's take it back to
Hashtag fuck Paul Roma.
Let's take it back to the manager aspect of it. And I think one of the greatest heel managers / personalities I think was Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just you hate that, like you hate hearing it.
It was even worse when because she's not a wrestler. It'd be like me going out there trying to wrestle.
Right.
Yeah.
That time she tried to do that frog splash from the top rope, dude. Or some tag team match.
Was it against AJ Lee?
No, it was like before that.
Okay.
I saw a clip of it on Facebook.
Because I remember during the NXT early days when they were doing like trying to find the next diva, AJ Lee was like the most hated out of all of them, and Vicky Guerrero was her pro. So she gave her like shit the whole time.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
This was before. This was like earlier on, but it showed like
I remember it.
Eddie Guerrero. It showed Eddie Guerrero doing the frog splash, and then it showed his wife doing the frog splash.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Poor Vicky.
Oh,
They say she's like the nicest person
No,
of
yeah.
all time.
She
but
could be,
She
but-
killed it on the heel.
I mean,
part.
she did
Yeah,
her
she did
job.
great.
She did
She
her
did
job.
great.
Man.
Yeah.
She did her job.
She did.
Well, here I'll throw out the ultimate heel. I think probably the ultimate heel of all time, and it's turned out where he's turned into the ultimate heel in real life, and that's fucking Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
He's a piece of shit.
He,
Uh,
yeah.
That is
I mean,
so true.
From in the
Allegedly.
Attitude Era, that heel work of
Some of the best work ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mr. McMahon.
then turns out he was just a fucking terrible heel of a person in
He's
real
just,
life.
yeah.
too.
He's the ultimate heel.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to find out when do y'all think all this stuff's going to start rolling?
Well,
it'll- dude,
evidently
it's gonna
the-
take forever. They'll draw it out as long as they can.
SA are being pushed back because evidently, I guess, some federal charges are fixed.
Yeah,
are-
WWE
that's what I was
and
thinking-
Vince
that's what I was
McMahon's
getting at.
under investigation right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was getting at because, like, the amount of people that are probably going to come forward, it's just like the Diddy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is coming out on the 27th. We're
Sure.
filming it on the 2nd. So
Yeah.
there's no telling what's coming out. We're
No, it's
recording
coming-
these, we're
yeah.
banking these. But as of when we're recording this, like, 2 or 3 other allegations about Diddy just came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and then they just everybody
That
starts
Diddy,
piling on.
the whole Diddy thing, man. Oh,
He's my least favorite person of all time.
man, that's
But him and
unbelievable.
Vince
It
are
just,
right there holding hands
Yeah.
together.
it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He's probably got footage of Mr. McMahon shitting on
Probably.
people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably.
You're probably right.
But yeah, it's from what I read something the other day and everything that the SA charges are kind of getting pushed to the back burner right now.
Oh, they're going to
'cause-
put them all together probably.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
There's some different charges I believe that's coming in now federally.
Yeah.
That's totally different from the SA.
What would federal charge?
I mean, what is he, like 78 years old?
Probably
He's up there.
embezzling some money.
What?
Something
Dang.
money wise.
Oh.
If it's federal charges, it's either that, drugs, or
Paying for
Yeah, I don't know.
federal.
paying for playtime.
From what I've read, that's the first lawsuit and everything. And she's even agreed to kind of push it off to the side right now with this new stuff coming in.
Well, I think
And-
the rumor has it like the Ashley Mazzaro suicide could have been something along his responsibility
Oh,
as
100%.
well.
And they said
Oh,
that
yeah.
Stephanie knew about it
They've
too.
always
Yeah.
tried to
That's
keep
even
that
worse.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine the other names that are going to be involved in this whole thing that aren't there yet. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's
is
a
how
reason
much
Shane
does
McMahon
Triple
left.
H know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how
But
much?
it's unfortunate that so many deaths will never be. You'll never find out the real thing because
Yeah.
they're dead. There's no one
Exactly.
there to speak for them.
Well,
Exactly.
And see, and the thing is too, we've all got wives. Like, how much do you like stuff that you know that you tell your wife, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's like wondering in my head, I wonder how much Triple H knows.
Exactly.
He knows everything.
He knows
He's
everything.
got to, yeah.
Because not only is his wife the daughter of the dude,
Yeah.
he
was the
the
right
one running the company.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what sucks is because
What about Shane?
that's
You
what I'm
know,
saying.
he
Then
I
he
think that's why
disappeared for all them
Shane
years and
distanced
came
himself
back.
for
and
so
all
course.
that.
I
long.
mean,
that's
It's because
right.
he's like, I don't want any part of
Linda,
this.
Linda.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're even married anymore.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard a
it
lot
could've
about
been
that too.
yeah,
so,
who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about a heel list, I mean, you got.
No, he's
Yeah,
the
he's the ultimate.
in like inside and out.
Yeah.
Who you got heel tag teams?
Hollywood Blondes for me.
Okay.
I like them. I
Well,
like
you
them.
like them, but they
Yeah.
were heels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I think Austin's run to me, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the first person I ever remember seeing that was a heel that fans absolutely loved. Like we talked
Absolutely.
about Perfect, but Stone Cold was trying his best to be the worst heel ever, but people couldn't help but cheer him.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like he was the first one that did that way before the NWO did
He
it.
showed up at Flying Brian's house. Well, Brian Pillman's
Yeah,
house.
yeah, that one. And
That
Pillman was supposed to be the good guy in that
was
whole
wild
situation.
right
That
there.
was wild.
That was
Yeah.
wild.
Well,
man.
Demolition's run against the Legion of Doom
Yep.
and everything.
Yeah.
Heel run. I mean, you got to throw them in there.
Yeah, they were an ultimate heel
but
team. I
they,
think.
they were also a tag team. They were a heel tag team that they had a bunch of fans of.
Yeah, because I mean the overall
Yeah.
look of them were, everyone loved to see the face paint and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
whole overall look.
Mad Max looked to
Yeah.
them and everything.
Uh-huh.
Dude, my heel tag team would be Twin Towers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Akeem and Big. Hang on. Akeem and Big Boss Man, dude. But there wasn't. That's what I loved about Big Boss Man, dude. You got to think that little 3-year period, he flip flopped from
Yep.
evil heel to the best baby face.
Oh, yeah.
Besides Hogan.
Yep.
And then back over, and he could do both great. Like when
I mean,
he
he
was
was
the good guy against the Mountie and all that.
He was
Yep.
a heel before WWE when he was in NWA.
Yep.
He was
Ray
a heel.
Trailer.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was like Big Bubba or something.
I feel like he was
Yeah.
always a heel in WCW or
Yeah.
NWA. He was always a heel there.
Wasn't he like the boss or Big Ball?
I forget the
Yeah.
role, what he called himself at first. But go back and look. He played like a no sell when you hit him and stuff.
Yep.
I remember like watching something where Dusty Rhodes like took him and hit him with a chair, and like the chair went through him and like a hole, and he just standing there looking at him like
Yep.
that. And he just no sold the hell out of that shit, man. Like I forget what he called himself though. That was pretty legit though. I always liked
My
him,
favorite
like,
heel tag team of all time is Doom. I
This is
love
a great
Doom
one.
versus the
Butcher and
Steiners,
Ron
Doom
Simmons,
versus Sting and Luger in WCW time frame. I love that.
I figured you would say the Beverly Brothers.
I hated the Beverly Brothers.
were
I couldn't
horrible.
stand.
Being such a Sting fan, would you put Muda under it?
Oh,
I love Muda.
Yeah, Muda was
love
great.
Muda. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that whole Muda versus anybody back in the late '80s, early '90s was gold. I loved it.
Yeah.
Muda was ultimate
Here we go.
heel.
Here we go. Here's all Bubba.
Big
Ray
Bubba
Trailer.
Rogers.
Yeah,
That's-
Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers, the Boss, the Guardian, Angel,
That was
Ray
terrible.
Trailer, and War Machine.
War Machine.
I
I
think it was
forgot
Big
about
Bubba
War
Rogers.
Machine. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about when he like he wore like the little top hat and like you couldn't hurt him. He was legit.
You got an ECW heel
But the
for
Guardian Angel's the worst of all time. Just throw that out there. Worst
Got to be
character.
Shane Douglas is probably
Yeah.
the worst heel in
Is he the
ECW.
ultimate ECW?
Eliminators was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
That
that
was
tag
tag team.
team?
I
Yep.
like the Eliminators.
Depressing, bro.
Yeah.
The Eliminators, yeah, they were really
Yeah.
A good tag team, Midnight Express.
Ooh,
Very-
yeah.
really
oh,
good.
yeah.
feel like that was more?
the Rock and Roll Express.
Do you feel like that was more Cornette though?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, motherfucker. Don't you ever say that they wasn't the best match of all time? I could watch it for 60 minutes straight. The Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express. Best 2 out of 3 falls. The winning is a cheeseburger.
I love
You
Cornette.
just gotta let him go.
I love
You just
Cornette.
gotta let him go.
I absolutely love Cornette. I think he's the
I think
greatest.
he's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
Put the Freebirds in that category too. Then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about ECW. Like, you got to put New Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
New
the
Jack.
gangsters.
If Vince McMahon's up here, New Jack's got to be like right down here.
Yeah, we've
Like,
got. Yeah,
I mean, he has
He is a royal piece of shit.
stabbed people, thrown them off scaffolds.
And didn't give
like,
two shits.
Hey,
No.
he didn't give
Unbelievable.
anybody what they didn't deserve.
Is that, yeah, like,
They,
They had it
said, I
coming.
want to get some licks in this guy. He
Yeah.
said,
What? Oh, you're gonna get something in, all right.
Yeah, I want some
Stuck
color.
in you.
The best thing ever in that episode when Vic said, "I can't feel my legs. You ain't gonna need them."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he chucked that. Dude was my size, and he fucking chucked him off them damn.
He was trying to kill him.
Yeah, he
Trying
said,
to
"You ain't
kill
gonna
him."
He said, I'm mad because I missed, and I threw him too hard. I wanted him to throw him hard enough.
He was
oh
a
my God.
big old
Fucking
boy.
psycho.
Oh man.
Yeah.
crazy.
You know what's sad? I just looked up Ray Traylor, right? He was 41 years old.
That was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
That's
Wow.
He was our age, bro.
Wow.
I didn't know
Isn't
that.
it crazy? Like watching those guys
That's
when we're younger,
crazy.
Yeah.
that we think they're like so
50.
old.
Invincible. And we
Yeah.
think
We
they're
think they're like
invincible.
60 years old
Yeah.
because we're like 10 watching.
Yeah.
And they're our age,
What did
bro.
he die from? I can't remember.
Heart attack.
Heart
I think.
attack.
I, think
Was
I
it?
don't think his
Yeah.
was drugs or anything.
Yeah,
His was
probably
drugs.
cardiac arrest.
That's something for 41. Gee,
That's insane.
That's sad.
That's young.
It's crazy, isn't it, dude?
Well, Raven, when he was in WCW, and I guess was he a heel in
Heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
ECW as well?
Most
Raven, great one.
yeah, most of the time.
Johnny
Raven was a
Zito
different
before
type of
that.
heel,
Yeah.
though. He was like your Jake Roberts, like more psychological and
Yeah.
less about just trying to draw heat. It was like he just was a different type of heel.
Yeah.
Raven was great. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, me being a huge Memphis wrestling fan, like anybody outside of Jerry Lawler in Memphis was
Yeah.
considered a heel, pretty much. You know, I remember Brian Christopher being a great heel in Memphis. I remember Doug Gilbert, guys like that, like really, really got over. The crowd loved them at one point, but it was nothing in Memphis for you to just hit the light switch and there'd be a face or a heel like in no time. So much going back and forth. I think heel Jerry Lawler is great too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Jerry Lawler.
Commentator,
Especially,
yeah.
especially with Stu Hart and
Yeah.
Bret Hart.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
doing that
Yes.
stuff.
Well, and dude, like when talking about the Memphis stuff, I mean, Andy Kaufman.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bingo. Yeah.
He
Definitely.
killed. He slayed.
You got to
that.
bring that up.
Think about how crazy that was. He was literally beating up women.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
They were not. Those were shoot.
Yeah.
Fighting,
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
fighting
Yeah.
women.
He
Yeah.
took it.
And they
way
just was
in.
like, yeah, he's gonna fight a woman tonight. And he just beats the shit out of her. And they're like, all right.
If y'all
Get
haven't
outta
seen
here.
the Man on the Moon,
It's a great movie.
great
It's
movie,
an amazing movie.
Jim Carrey,
And
did an awesome
even
job in
even the Lawler talks about that Jim Carrey was so
Mm-hmm.
engulfed in being Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, do you not realize that me and Andy said this was
Yeah.
all? This is
they
all-
played that to the T. Like you talk about kayfabe,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
You talk about that. Like that was ideal. Like that was hard to keep something that big of a secret
Oh,
back
yeah.
then. And you know the whole thing with the Letterman show and all that. Letterman, you could tell by his reaction, like he wanted to know, like we can't do this on my show, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to find out it was all a work was like it was disappointing, but at the same time it was cool because like they played it off so well.
Yeah.
played it off so well.
Yeah, hearing Lawler talk about it in his biography, the A&E biography is cool because he talks about that. Like, Andy Kaufman's like, slap the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Just make it look real.
The guy wore his neck brace around everywhere.
I
Everything.
mean,
like-
he's so for an actor to take on the full on role of being a wrestler.
He laid in the
Every-
ring until everyone in the
Everyone
arena
was
left.
gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Every you got to think about every so many years you get these handful of method actors
Yeah.
like that. There's like him, and then you got like Heath Ledger with
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Joker.
Oh yeah.
And then you got like Joaquin Phoenix when he gets in for a role,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like certain actors, bro. They'll take that shit like to the next level.
The
You
kid
know
who
what?
played Elvis in the late.
Well, they
Yeah.
said he struggled really hard. with that,
finding
yeah.
your identity after
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
you
Christian
know.
Bale, like
Yeah,
the
Christian-
machinist, he lost
yeah.
all that weight and stuff.
yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. PN News, he had a hard time.
PN News did a lot of
doing
character
being-
development.
Being the greatest rapper of all time.
Dude,
You thought I was
and he-
gonna go an episode without mentioning that son of a bitch?
No, dude. When we get the new set, we got to get a cutout or.
PN News is going to be on.
We
the
need
new
to get
set.
PN News in action, in ring action.
That's not possible. He was
gonna
never in.
I'm gonna have
hitting
to-
an elbow
What, a
drop. or
I'm gonna have to
freestyle
find a
battle?
figure. I'm gonna have to
Freestyle
find a
battle,
figure.
PN
There's
News?
gotta
Can
be
you-
a figure out there
Can you
for PN
imagine a
News.
PN News cutout
think
like
so.
sitting behind the couch? Like,
Yep.
We need like
A PN News.
entertainment.
Yeah.
We need some music in
PN News.
Oh
We're getting
man.
that just for you.
God bless. I hate his guts.
Virgil's going to move out of the set, and PN News is now going to represent.
Gonna move
That'd
in.
be.
You know, two guys who had a great run as faces, but were ultimate heels. To me, is like Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels. I
Yes.
feel like
Oh yeah,
Yes.
they're both of them.
but they were great heels.
That
Shawn
Canadian,
Michaels
the
so
whole
over.
Canadian Bret Hart
Yes.
heel run,
Yeah.
that was fucking
Yes.
masterful.
Oh yeah.
To be so good as being a face, to flip over and be a heel so good and be hated so quickly
Yes.
and so easily. It was
Yes.
like it's an art. Like it's really really hard for people to do it effectively. Like
Yeah.
and they both killed it. Both absolutely
Well,
killed
the
it.
whole Shawn Michaels did the whole babyface heel. I mean, he
Yeah.
did it multiple
Multiple
times and was
times.
able to succeed every time. with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
And
mean,
a lot of
from
that
the
they
Rockers
said back
being
then was
the
his
ultimate-
personality.
Yeah, the ultimate
Yeah.
babyface
Yeah.
tag team with the Rockers, and then the whole barbershop window
Yep.
escapade that turned him into the whole heel intercontinental run.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
And then backstage, he was a big heel too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that they said
Yeah.
was just his personality coming out.
yeah.
And you got to think too. Probably one of the biggest heels, Vince Russo.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
God,
I hate
him
Vince
too.
Russo.
I
That,
hate him
same
so
with
much.
God bless
Bischoff?
him. Yeah, same with Bischoff.
Bischoff. At least
you could
Bischoff knew when he didn't need to be on TV.
Yeah.
Russo, I felt like
Bruh.
was just like
Yeah.
He ruined so
he
much
ruined
shit.
so much.
Yeah, he
Ruined so much. And and during that time period in WCW, the heels were so cheered, like they like the NWO.
Oh yeah.
Were so over, but they were supposed to be heels.
Correct.
They tried to turn Sting into a heel. It never worked.
Mm-mm.
Like it just.
Bro, we need to do an episode specifically about the Brawl for All.
Oh,
Oh,
We
it's
can
awful.
find a way to
Game.
watch each
I'm game.
little bout,
Yeah.
and
Let's
do
like,
it.
review it, and talk about how it's the worst thing in wrestling history.
And
Oh,
I
sorry.
thought it was going to be one of the best things. I loved the concept.
was so
originally.
excited
But your
when they
reward
announced
is
it.
you get to fight Butterbean. Like
well, I don't think that was.
Well,
They
that
audibled
wasn't-
that, bro.
yeah.
That wasn't.
that was.
That
That
was
was
just you're going to get a
punishment.
major push against Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's
And
And
that's
they
when
wanted
were.
Dr. Death to win it.
Yeah. And
that
then
had
they
to have been
brought
a
in
Jim Ross thing because
They had-
Dr.
Yeah, it
Death was
was.
well past his prime at
Yeah,
that point.
and then they brought in Butterbean after.
To punish it.
that was so
Bart
Yeah.
Gunn. Yep.
I mean, look what Butterbean did to Johnny Knoxville on that episode
That's
of
awful.
Jackass
That's
in that
awful.
department
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
That episode would be great because I mean,
I would
Yeah.
do it. It's
Oh,
good.
that's
Find a
most
way to
certainly.
watch
That's
it
a
all
great
on the
idea.
network or
That's,
something.
I'm
that's a
in.
great idea to do.
I know everyone talks about Hogan's run as a heel as being something that changed the business, but to me,
It was more Nash than Hall.
I hate Hulk Hogan, and I hate him as a heel.
Oh, we know.
He was so
Go.
corny. He was absolutely the cheesiest
I was
thing
waiting
I've
to
ever
find
seen in my entire life. He played the same. All he did was change from the yellow to the black. He had the same promo style, the same everything.
What about the lightning on the boots?
I hate everything about Hulk Hogan. I hate it.
I was waiting. I was surprised it took this
I'm
long
done.
for Hogan
Dude,
rant.
but what you're saying is not a lie as far as
It's not. It's not.
when he was in WO. I've watched multiple interviews where Nash and Hall are like, Hogan comes in with the brother.
Hate
Like,
it.
no, bro, you got to be
Absolutely hate
cool.
Yeah.
Like you got to do it like this. Just stop with the overacting.
He
shit.
knew
Like, that's not what
Hogan
it
knew
is.
that the NWO was so over. It didn't matter how he presented himself. He was going to come out. He was going to do the same promo. The only difference is what he was wearing and the little beard thing he had
the
going.
little
What
dyed
in the
beard.
fuck was that? What was that? Like, Hulk Hogan.
Oh my
and
god!
and the spray paint boots.
I hate you. I hate you, Hulk Hogan.
He
I
had
hate
himself. He had himself painted on his boots.
I hate you, Hulk
flexing
Hogan. I
on his
hate
own
you.
boots.
Let's not forget the match with him and Ultimate Warrior in WCW.
yeah.
That's
What a
we'll put that as a
shit
heel
show.
in itself.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's a
a
shit show.
shit show and a half.
What a shit show. That and then the Roddy Piper Icon versus Icon match.
Icon.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there live for that one.
God, don't tell nobody
I
else.
was in attendance as well.
Yeah.
I got me cussing.
years-
I got me cussing
I was
on
in
the podcast
attendance
about
as
Hulk
well.
Hogan's sorry ass.
I was there eating stale popcorn.
Yep.
Chance was doing that with you too, because we know Chance love for popcorn.
Yeah, we
No
both love
butter,
popcorn.
No
though.
movie theater butter though.
No,
yeah,
don't
no
put
butter.
don't put that.
Was that at the
butter on.
Municipal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
oh
it?
yeah, had
Oh
to be.
yeah.
Yep.
It was.
We talked about Bret Hart, but Owen Hart.
Oh, yeah,
was
oh,
a great
certainly.
heel too.
Great heel.
I'm
Oh,
not
that-
a nugget.
Yeah, and whenever he won the Slammies, carrying the
Oh, yeah.
Slammies
I'm a
around.
black card.
But
Well, the whole nation of domination. That whole heel
Why was
faction.
he in the Nation of Domination? What?
Because they were just not doing shit with him. So like,
Yeah.
I'll just go over there. With
I had to
him,
been a
bro.
rib.
And he
It-
succeeded
I
in
think
it.
so too.
Yeah.
It had to be a
They
rib.
ribbed Owen the whole time he was there, bro.
Yeah.
He was the blue blazer, and then he was like in high energy or the new foundation or whatever.
With Coco Beware.
Yeah, and then he became like they finally let him get a run in '94.
Yeah.
You know, with Brett and stuff, and then that fizzled.
Put on some of the best matches. Of all
Brett
time.
put over both him and British Bulldog
Yeah.
for the IC title.
and
He
they were
them
trying to
both
put him
over.
in that Jeff Jarrett, Deborah triangle shit, and he said no.
And then they did-
so they
uh,
punished him, put
And
him
then,
back in the blue blazer.
and then they killed him.
I mean, speaking of
man, I
double,
never
speaking of
thought
Double
about
J
all
though,
this.
Double J was like the ultimate TNA heel.
yeah,
Like to me, Jeff Jarrett's role as a bad guy was probably far more important than anything he's ever
I
done.
mean,
as
and
a
if he
face.
wouldn't have left the WWE the first time when
He was
doing
going the same
country singer
direction.
gimmick, I loved the With My Baby
Yeah.
Tonight stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that was great.
And
Yeah.
Stone
I liked
Cold
him in
wasn't
WCW too.
Yeah, I did too.
Stone Cold wasn't going to work with him though after he lost to
That
China.
one, yeah.
That
No.
was what the major breaking point for him. in
Well, I think
WWE.
it was that shoot promo he did in the ring about Austin
Yeah.
where he
Yeah,
got in
that
there
too.
in plain
And-
clothes that Austin was like, I'm done with this guy.
And
Yeah.
Jerry Jarrett not paying Stone Cold nothing whenever he wrestled for
Yeah.
him.
and Jerry being obsessed with potato salad too.
Well, you put some
He
mayo.
put some raisins.
I mean, did we talk? We briefly mentioned Ric Flair.
Oh yeah,
I
Flair.
leave him out of it. I can't.
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
it. That dude
Can't
was
leave him out of it.
Swagged out.
Yeah.
The whole 4 Horsemen as heels were like
Another great heel
Tully
faction.
Blanchard and Ole.
Arn
And Arn, yeah.
Hunter Anderson.
Yeah, Ole
Always
Anderson
a-
and Vince
And it didn't
Russo
matter who
were
that
on,
fourth
yeah.
guy was. It could have been
Yeah,
Ole,
it
it could have been
could've
Sid
anybody.
Vicious, could have been Barry Windham.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who that fourth guy was.
The last one I'll say for my it's Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid, whatever. Dude, I watched a compilation somebody made on Facebook of all the times he no-sold people. And the funniest one ever is when Goldberg powerbombed him or suplexed him or something. He jumped right up and low-blowed Goldberg. And Goldberg had to like act like he got hurt. He got right up, bro. I was like,
I didn't see that.
I had to look that one
oh,
up.
classic Sid. That was right before
He's too worried about going out there and playing, hitting dingers,
Softball,
softball,
man.
man.
My last one I'll end on is Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
yeah,
Oh,
yes.
That version
good
of
one.
Steiner, man, was probably the best heel, one of the best
Big
heels.
Buddy
You
Daddy.
barely touched on Jake, but
Yeah,
that
that's-
when he turned on Randy Savage,
Mm-hmm.
that was gold. That dude, I mean, I'm like I said, he just talked like this.
He
the
even turned
whole
on
time.
Ultimate Warrior.
He turned
and-
on Warrior. He turned
yeah.
on Taker. I turned on everybody. Like,
Yeah.
don't trust me. Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, he picked that. Bray Wyatt picked right up where he left off. at.
Absolutely.
He did it where you just didn't talk loud and talk too low, just
Yeah.
perfect tone. And
It's hard to tell the difference between heels and faces this day and age.
I got one more too. I can't leave this one out. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Legend Killer Randy Orton.
Yes,
Oh,
that's a
definitely.
great one. dude.
Yeah,
Great
Fire,
one, dude.
fire one.
That's probably
Definitely.
one of the best, probably more
Yes.
recent,
Oh,
like
he's-
big time.
yeah.
Absolutely.
1000%.
The
Absolutely.
ball head Randy Orton, the real thin, chiseled,
Yeah.
oiled
Yeah.
up Randy Orton. Like
Man.
that's the best version
He
of
was
Randy
so
Orton.
Loved it
young
when he
at the time.
RKO'd Hogan over
Yes.
the trunk of the
Oh, I
car.
love the one of my favorite moments in wrestling history.
When he handcuffed Stephanie McMahon and kissed her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He-
Right in front of Triple H.
Right in front
yeah.
of-
yeah.
Dude, it's-
Stephanie was a good heel too.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Triple H was a good heel.
Yep.
I mean,
Triple
great
H
heel.
and yeah.
He's a better heel than he is a face, but
I
it's just
agree.
hard to pull. It's hard to
Absolutely.
root
It's,
against.
well, that popped though when he came back in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
When he
Oh,
came
yeah.
back roided in that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
jean jacket just
Yeah.
busting at the seams of it.
Yeah.
My last one I'll throw out is another WCW, more of a
Vader,
Vader.
Yeah.
great heel.
I loved it, especially the Mastodon when he wore the shoulder
Yep.
pad, the whole in the fog coming out of the Mastodon helmet.
That
and
was
all
legit. I like that.
I didn't like him as a face whatsoever in
No.
WWF. I loved him in
I liked his
WCW.
He's
better
too big to be
WC
a hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I liked his WCW run a whole lot better
Yep.
than his WWE run.
Absolutely.
Dude was
100%
legit,
agree.
man.
Everybody's got a price
Ted
for the
Yeah.
DiBiase.
$1 million man.
Yeah.
He was the
Yeah.
ultimate heel because you couldn't help but hate him.
Yep.
And the money, the flashiness, and he was the ultimate counterpart to Hogan, who was the ultimate good guy. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and this guy over here, money is everything.
Yeah.
He's calling kids in the ring to do something to pay them, and then he
Yep.
kicks the basketball
Yeah.
out from under them before they
Yeah.
reach them.
He sure
Those
did.
things like
Yep.
heel tactics, man.
And realizing, even when we were growing up, realizing that, but then realizing after the fact, on these now that there's pods and interviews and stuff, that was just Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
being Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yep.
Vince McMahon made the $1 million man to live through him.
It
That's
was
what he
almost
wanted.
played by Flair.
Yep.
I can see
It
that
was
though.
almost-
Yeah, that would-
it
yeah,
But you
that
couldn't
was-
bring Flair in as
Yeah, he
anybody
was
else.
like- Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
You couldn't bring Flair in as anybody other than Ric Flair,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was Flair was probably the first one who came in and didn't get a name change for
Yeah.
WWE.
That's the
Everybody
point.
else came in and got
Well,
a
Arn
gimmick
and
or
Tully,
something.
Arn and Tully were still.
They were still
I mean,
Arn
they
and
went
Tully.
by the Brain Busters.
Right.
But
Yeah,
they
but
still
that
that
was-
was
were there.
Anderson,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
Rick
mean, and you
Scott.
get the iconic $1 million championship out of it. That's one of the coolest
That's my
creations
favorite
ever.
belt ever.
Shout out
yeah.
meat sauce.
Yeah,
Shout
one.
out Meat Sauce holding that thing.
I didn't earn it, but I carried it around.
That and the Ringmaster.
LA Knight won it too.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
He's a great promo. By the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Hell yeah,
definitely.
dude. And this is another one we can revisit down the road.
Oh yeah, there's so
Oh,
many
so
more
many
out
more,
there
yeah.
that we can
This is
touch
a good,
on.
a good start to it. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, guys. Good to have the starting five back up here, man. I'll be Anthony Mason, R.I.P.
I'm Chris Childs.
Okay, you're John Starks.
I thought it was Deadlift Shrimp.
He didn't play for the Knicks.
Oh, my bad.
Charlie
I
Ward.
can't-
You're Charlie
I'll
Ward.
be Charlie
Yeah.
Ward.
That Florida State guys
Yeah,
together.
I'll be
Patrick
Charlie
Ewing.
Ward.
Yeah.
I was either gonna say
John
Charlie Ward or
Starks,
Sam
Anthony
Mason.
Mason.
I'll change mine. I'm Larry Johnson, damn it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll be a hybrid of Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason.
All
I was either
They're
gonna be
the same
Sam
player.
Cassell or Charlie Ward, so I'm good with that.
Charlie Ward, man. What about Allen Houston?
Oh,
Tennessee. I would never in my
No,
life
yeah.
be Allen
he's
Houston.
a Tennessee ball I like.
I would never in my life be Allen Houston.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the 96 Knicks, guys. You almost had the Bulls.
Almost had them.
Nah, just
But
yeah.
almost doesn't count.
Shout out to Trouble Spirits, Revolution One Media,
all the
whole
cast.
family.
And we out this motherfucker.
Deuces.